The Lost City of Dragons. In a distant country, beyond the mountains and oceans, there lived a boy named James. He dreamed of exploring distant lands and traveling to unknown places. When James was ready to set out, his father gave him a compass and a map that led to the Lost City of Dragons. James was surprised, but for the sake of adventure, he decided to go on this dangerous and unsafe expedition. Along the way, he learned about many difficulties and dangers that the old sailors in the ports told him about. But nothing stopped him except the desire to find this lost city. One day, after many days of traveling, the earth began to sway, and several dried-up mountains appeared on the horizon. This starchy landscape suggested that there was a desert ahead. James continued his journey through the dust and heat, but after a few days, he saw a beautiful city in the distance that looked like a blooming paradise. But before he could approach the city, he heard a crash and a mighty roar. As he got closer, he noticed a bright red dragon that guarded the entrance to the city. James was scared because he had heard that dragons are very dangerous and aggressive. But he couldn't go back because his goal is to find this city. Instead, he decided to use his mind and started feeding the dragon his favorite fruits and vegetables. The dragon was very pleased with the food and allowed James to enter the city. When James entered the city, he saw the masterpieces of art and stopped for hours to examine each colorful statue and relic. There were numerous treasures in the city that the dragons had kept for many years. One day James met an old dragon who told him the history of this city. He said that the dragons once lived there and ruled the city that was their home. But then people started living nearby and wanted to take over the land of dragons. The dragons fought for their right to inheritance, but in the end they were forced to leave their home and travel through the mountains to other lands. This story made James think. He realized that it was important to preserve history and culture, and a few days later he returned home, but with a head full of ideas for new adventures.